This is a meandering personal tale inspired by the artist Louise Bourgeois, who was 98 when she died this year. In the 50 years that separates these photographs, she rose to international fame, and she was still making work as she approached her 99th birthday. 3 years ago, I walked into a bookshop in London and found this print propped up. I wanted it instantly, and stepping closer I saw the artist's name, Louise Bourgeois. It appealed to every aspect of what was going on in my life at that time, because in my split personality life, I'm not only an art critic but a yoga teacher. A perinatal yoga teacher, which means I teach pregnant women, amongst other things, how to breathe and be calm. So soon I'd be struggling with the demands of 2 kids under 2, finding myself drawn to other aspects of Louise Bourgeois' work. Motherhood is one of her central themes, and the mother figure in her work often appears tortured or torturing. She had 3 sons herself, like steps. The first one was adopted, and in a minute you're going to see a photo. There she is with the second 2 were born in the 40s, like gifts that she thought she shouldn't have. And then she struggled and she tussled in the battle between maternity and creativity. She described her own mother love as ferocious, and she said God invented art as a survival device. All her life she kept notebooks, hundreds and hundreds of them, sketches and writings and notes to self. And in this one from 1986, she's repeating the words, "I do not deserve it, I do not deserve it." And she berates herself for not finding any subject other than I. The works that she called Femme Maison began in the 1980s, literally woman, house or housewife. She said they sprung from a feeling that she didn't have the right to have children or to be an artist. And like a good femme maison, she said, I felt I had to save my husband's money rather than do sculpture, which cost money. So the materials I used in the beginning were discarded objects. Later, she'd become famous for her enormous spiders. Maman, which is French for mother, towered outside the Tate Modern in 2007. Ferocious mother love. Bourgeois came from a family of tapestry restorers, and fabrics and cloth became a key element of her later work. At IMA in 2003, this piece made me think of my granny. I think of her as a fashion designer who's made clothes her whole life and yet never worked as one. My own wardrobe has a few gems from her hand. So here I am with my sister. We're both wearing clothes worn by my granny by accident. Turned up together. A creative career in fashion was obviously not an option for the mother of 5 children born in the 40s and 50s in Ireland. So I don't know if my granny was frustrated by this, but Bourgeois drew her frustrations. When she was asked about the notebook sketches in which a baby looks like it's coming out of a woman's mouth, she said, "No, I'm eating it. I'm stuffing my face with it because I don't know what to do with it. Children are such a huge burden. The only way of making them disappear is to eat them." I never felt my own mother wanted to eat me, but she did paint me, so here I am, age 7. When I asked her recently why she started weaving instead, she said it was more compatible with having small children. Now my mother has grandchildren of her own who admire her work, and I think for her the pendulum is finally swinging in the battle between maternity and creativity. The sculptor Melanie Lebrocki, who is a near contemporary of Louise Bourgeois and also a sister to the more famous Louis Lebrocki. She showed at the RHA in her teens, and she also exhibited at the Irish Exhibition of Living Art, but she stopped making art after she got married at 24. She married a doctor. She said, "We had 4 children and I didn't start making sculpture again till I was 40. I began with plasticine." There's a copywriter in Finland whose blog features photographs of her daughter taken while sleeping. Slumbering Mila stars in fairy tales and homages to great paintings and other scenarios. There's no battle between maternity and creativity for Adele Enerson. Bourgeois was an influence on the Irish artist Alice Maher. Both of the artists that connect the female body and the house. Now, Maher doesn't make work so much about motherhood as she does about childhood, but she has said she would like to be like Louise Bourgeois when she's an old lady. Interestingly, the Irish musician and performance artist Julie Feeney has said Alice Maher is the woman that you want to be when you grow up. Feeney's not trapped by motherhood, but she is literally a femme maison who wears a house hat when she performs. Now, my Louise Bourgeois print isn't my Louise Bourgeois print. I never bought it despite wanting it. I decided I couldn't afford it, but I'm amused to find it garnered a life of its own, and it's now available from the LA Museum of Contemporary Art as a baby grow of all things. To me, it'll always be the print that got away. It's also available as a tea towel, which my London friend found in the Tate Modern shop and posted to me as a joke, but also as a reminder of the day that we learnt you should never pass up on an opportunity to buy a work of art that speaks to you if there's any possible way you can afford it. And so I am left with my tea towel and one final dilemma, whether to dry the dishes like a good femme maison or to take my tea towel and frame it. Thank you.